There is a law working in your life every moment, whether you are aware of it or not. Nothing comes by accident. Nothing appears randomly. Everything you experience follows a simple, orderly process. I didn't learn this first from books. I learned it from results, from watching life respond when I expected it to. Most people only notice the end when something finally arrives. But the arrival is never the beginning, it is the final step. Long before that moment, something was decided inwardly. Let me explain this in the simplest way possible. First, you decide. You select what you want, not as a hope, not as a wish, not as something you would like someday. You select it the way you select something from a shelf and say, "This one is mine." When I entered contests, I never entered to see if I would win. I entered knowing which one I would win. That decision came first, quietly, firmly, without emotion. Selection is final. There is no struggle in it. Once you have selected, there is nothing left to debate. Then comes expectation. Expectation is not excitement. It is not nervous waiting. It is not asking again and again. Expectation is calm certainty. It is the feeling you have when you know the sun will rise or when you know the mail will arrive. You don't worry about it. You don't check constantly. You don't ask how it will happen. You simply expect. Expectation is powerful because it removes resistance. When you expect something, you make room for it. You stop blocking it with doubt. Many people think they are expecting, but they are really hoping. Hope still contains uncertainty. Expectation does not. Expectation says, "This is settled." Now comes the part most people misunderstand: projection. Projection is not hard visualization. It is not straining the mind. It is simply becoming familiar with what you have selected. If I selected a prize, a car, an appliance, a home, I didn't beg for it. I simply used it in my imagination, casually, naturally. If it was a car, I imagined where I would park it. I saw myself sitting inside it. I felt the seat. I noticed the smell of the interior. I wasn't trying to make anything happen. I was just becoming acquainted with what already belonged to me. That is that is projection. You are not imagining to get. You are imagining because it is yours. When something feels familiar to you, life has no reason to keep it away. Projection puts energy into your selection without effort. It is gentle. It is normal. It feels almost ordinary. And that is why it works. Now, here is something very important. After you project, the mind may ask, "When will it come?" That question does not help. The moment you begin watching the calendar, you step out of expectation and into doubt. You move from trust into control, and control stops the flow. I never concerned myself with timing. Not once. Timing is not your responsibility. Your only responsibility is alignment. Some things come quickly, some take longer, and each desire arrives through its own route. I have seen prizes come through rule changes, extra drawings, unexpected phone calls, and opportunities I never planned. I never tried to figure out how. I let life surprise me. When you interfere, you slow it down. When you relax, you speed it up. Now comes the final stage: collection. Collection is not effort. It is not chasing. It is recognition. It is the moment when something internal becomes visible. And when you have truly expected, the arrival does not shock you. It feels natural. You say, "Yes, of course." That is how you know you were aligned. People who struggle are usually trying to collect before they have decided inwardly. They want proof before expectation. But life does not work that way. Life follows belief. If you believe you are waiting, you will keep waiting. If you believe it is done, life rearranges itself to agree. You do not need to repeat projection endlessly. You do not need to visualize every day. You do not need to work hard at this. Once it feels natural, stop. Once it feels normal, you are finished. Then you live your life. You don't hunt for signs. You don't analyze coincidences. You don't explain it to others. You let it come, and it will come in the way that perfectly fits your expectation. Some receive through contests, some through gifts, some through promotions, some through chance meetings, some through decisions that seem ordinary at the time. There is no single method. There is only expectation. So remember the order, because order matters. Decide. Expect, become familiar, receive. No force, no strain, no impatience. The moment you stop trying to make it happen, it begins happening. The moment you trust the law responds. And one day, sometimes quietly, sometimes suddenly, you will find yourself holding what you once selected, realizing it came not because you chased it, but because you expected it. And that is how it always works.